Well, hello and welcome everyone. This is a very exciting day for me because today I am officially opening up my Etsy shop and I have two of my very first products up and ready for you to enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and just give a quick background on just the purpose of these worksheets and why they are important and how they can provide joy and more meaning and a sense of fulfillment to you and those in your life. So, right now I only have two of the workbooks created and uploaded, and it may not be a lot right now, but I do plan to have a workbook for each of the 24 character strengths. Like I said, I only got two, but I am working very hard on getting all 24 up and ready to go. So, just a quick background on the basis of these two printables that I created is that they are based on the 24 character strengths that are proposed by Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson, who are the founders of positive psychology, which is just a fascinating topic. And I highly recommend any of you to just quickly research it and just Google it. Trust me. This is not the psychology that we have grown up with, and in fact, they are finding that there are things that we can do on a daily basis and just easy everyday tasks that can help you become a happier person. So who doesn't want that? So what I did is I did some research on the 6 universal virtues that they've come up with, and those include wisdom, courage, justice, temperance, humanity, and transcendence. I remembered them. Okay, so what they also did is once they categorized these 6 virtues that are universal through all the cultures of societies, just every society you can think of, they have discovered these 6 virtues, which is absolutely amazing. So, going further into that, they've broke it down even further and separated those virtues into 24 character strengths. Each of those strengths are then categorized under each of those virtues. So hold on with me, because you're probably wondering, why does this matter? Why do I need to know about this? Well, what they've found is that each of us have these strengths in a varying degree. So no one is without love. No one is without wisdom. No one is without humility. One of us may show it at a higher level than another, but basically every single one of us have each one of these strengths. Now, going further into this, the research that they have conducted thus far have proved that you can improve your resilience to stress in difficult situations, the communication in your relationships, and even you can improve your productivity and your, again, overall sense of fulfillment of life. You can achieve a meaning for life, and just overall your general sense of happiness, which every single one of us wants. I can't think of any person that I've ever met in my lifetime that has said that they do not want to be happy. So these workbooks were created for everybody. And I've pretty much just taken everything that I've learned during my studies and I condensed it into an easy-to-use workbook format. And since I really love planning, I sized these printables sorry, I want to call them planner printables, but they are printables that are sized to either fit your classic or your big size planner. And they come in one easy downloadable PDF. And if you want a classic size, you literally just print the thing out the way that it's set up. And you would just cut along the lines, which I have one sitting right here, and I'll quickly show you. So you would just literally print this double-sided, and you would just trim along the lines and then punch it out, which I'm going to be demonstrating that here in a moment on how we're going to use these in the setup that I have. But for me, I mean, granted, they are my very first printable or product that I've ever created on my own. So this was a learning curve, and so they're not like fantastic, but I decided to put them at a very reasonable price because, again, my main objective here is that I want to try to spread the knowledge that I've gained through my research, through my studies, and participation in any of my positive psychology courses. I want to share that information with all of you so that all of you can begin practicing these daily prompts that, again, they're very easy to take, they're easy to do, they're not boring. Some of them are even kind of fun. I mean, I got a boost from it just from making the workbook. So I can't wait to take this 31-day challenge in January and see what I can achieve at the end of those days. So if I'm feeling this good now, I can't wait until the end of this challenge. So what I would like to ask of any of you is, if this sounds interesting to you and you think that you are up for the challenge, please stick around for a flip through of each of my workbooks where I will go into more detail of what they contain and how they are to be used. And please take a look at my Etsy shop for yourself. I am listed under Stitchpiration, and just take a look at each of them. For this month, I'm focusing on hope and love of learning, because I think that those are two very important strengths that would help assist us in setting up our New Year's resolution goals, or just even starting the new year off right. So this is a goal that I promise you will be able to achieve at the end of the 30 days, and you won't be left wondering what happened at the end of January. So please, again, if this is interesting to you, please stick around and check out my flip through. And please, thank you so much for all of your support. I absolutely love you guys, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without all of the support from the planner community. So again, thank you, and I will be seeing all of you soon. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I greatly appreciate it. And just to say thank you, I'm going to try to flip through these as quickly as possible, because I don't want to take up any more of your time than necessary. And I want you to get on with celebrating the new year. So first up is my workbook that I created for the character strength of hope. And in each of the workbooks, I provide a general information page that the workbook starts with, and it explains what each of the character strengths is. And for this workbook, it is hope. So I'm basically explaining that the character strength of hope embraces positive expectations about future events, and it includes optimistic thinking and focusing on good things. And it just... the other thing that I found really interesting about this character strength is how it is related to our explanatory styles. which some of you may know this as the more common terms of if a person is an optimist or if they are a pessimist. These are our explanatory styles. And simply put, that if you're a pessimist, you are the half is half empty, or the glass is half empty. I am so sorry. So, again, if you're a pessimist, that glass is, it's not half or almost full. That thing is literally almost empty to you. So you're basically explaining that any issues or troubles that you would have, that they would be internalized, so they are concerning you in particular. You are normally the only person that experiences those problems. The issues, again, are stable, that they are consistent, that you are consistently coming towards difficulties and troubles and obstacles, and that they are global, which means that they affect everything in your life. That is a pessimistic view from a pessimistic explanatory style. And what research has shown is that if you practice hope on a routine basis, that you will change your explanatory style from pessimist to optimist, which is fantastic, because who doesn't want to feel as horrible as what I just explained on a daily basis? And I can say that from my own point of view, is that I have been a pessimist in the past, and it is just so much more just free. Like, I feel free from pessimistic thoughts, as if I said that correctly. But there's no more clouds. Cute little fluffy white clouds now. And I'm not even reaching like a full level. I am aware of just consequences and risks that are, included in any of our choices that we make during a day-to-day basis. So I'm not at a full level. But, we still have reality. But I'm no longer bogged down with the grumpy bear rainy day clouds that, I don't even know why I'm going to try that, because I'm just going to fail. So what? If you fail, just figure out what you did wrong, and we're going to move from that. And that is where practicing hope helps build resilience, because that is one of the two main reasons why they are suggesting that you practice hope on a daily basis. Is one, it helps you become more resilient. If you have anxiety or depression, and I'm not talking about the ones that actually require like full-on psychiatric treatment, those are serious, and you do still need to, keep going and seeing your therapist and your psychiatrist. I am not telling you that this workbook is going to stop that. But for those of us who are in the middle ground, which even if you are someone who is clinically depressed, completing and working on this workbook will help reduce your depression symptoms. And to me, that is just enough. If it can alleviate some sort of pain or any daily grief that you experience from your depression or your anxiety, it's worth it. It's worth it to give it a try. And like I've said, I've been practicing these on and off since I've started studying them. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, whenever I first put these together, that I really started experiencing the full benefits of completing these. So I am almost like I was kind of in disbelief too. And once I started realizing that this is real, it's what motivated me to realize that I need to share this with you. So again, each of the workbooks come with just a general intro page, and I'm going to try to see if I can do them both at the same time. So this one would be the Hope Workbook, and this one is the Love of Learning Workbook. And again, they are printed out to where the pages will neatly fit in a classic size Happy Planner if you just trim along the edges, or you can supersize them by just changing the print screen is 119%, I believe. Yeah, okay, I have it listed on my Etsy shop if you do need a big size, but 119 will give you a full size printout, which you can then, you don't even have to trim, you just quickly punch it and you're done and slap it in your planner. So just to demonstrate here, let me grab my Fiskars trimmer and, which I know that the majority of you know how to use one of these, but I just want to demo how easy it is. So you just line up on that edge and you just trim off your excess. And I was just going to do the corners, and I thought about it and I was like, you know, I better just leave the whole line on there, because once you seem to cut off 3 of the edges, you kind of lose that final corner. Oh, my cutter's getting a little worn out. Okay, there we go. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew exactly where to cut so that you would get that perfect edge and it would fit perfectly in your planner. Okay, so let's see there. We got 1 page printed out. Top edge a little raw. And then see, he fits perfectly in the classic size. And you would just punch like that, guys. And you have double-sided. And to give you a quick glimpse, so the blue one is the Hope one. And again, you have your intro page. And I created them so that they would have like a guided journal feel to them. So you would have day 1 of your challenge, day 2, day 3, day 4, and you get the gist. And I did this for all 31 days of January. And the tasks rotate from either individual reflection to working along with another. Trying to see. Okay, we even have fun movie nights in the Hope selection because there's a lot of movies out there that demonstrate hope as their theme. Trying to find one that requires another person. And okay, they're probably more in the love of learning. I know there's a lot more of those examples in that. Oh, okay, yeah, here's my big size printable. So see, if you just change the printout from 100% to 119%, you will get a printout that looks like this. And again, if you are a big size planner like I have become, you just stick it in your big size planner punch, and voila, he is ready to go in your planner. So let's see here. Here's the love of learning, and I know I've talked a lot about the Hope workbook, and love of learning is probably one of the character strengths that most people don't actually realize is a character strength, and it's simply just a passion for learning. It is someone who wants to know everything. Like, you literally get thrilled when you're learning something new. I am someone who is like ranking very high in the love of learning. I have to learn everything. It's just who and what I am. And again, most of these individuals tend to be contemplative. They're quiet, they're introverts, because they really just want to sit down with a book and just submerge themselves in anything knowledge related. And that is me to a T. And the one thing that I was really surprised about with this is that the love of learning actually increases your ability to utilize your skills, your productivity, and just general qualifications for anything that you can think of in your life. okay, this was the other one that caught me off guard, is that people who rank high in love of learning or practice love of learning on a daily basis, they have been shown to lead healthier and have more productive aging over their overall lifespan than those who do not. So I'm assuming that this has to be because they're constantly looking up stuff that they can do for their health and to avoid things that are bad for their health, because that's the only really thing I can connect to this character strength. But since I gave you a flip through of the Hope workbook, I'm just going to give you one of the Love of Learning. And I tried to pick soothing colors and was trying to just keep like the guided journal vibe, which I don't know if you've tried the guided journals. I have, and I loved them. But then I got bored with them because of the repetition. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to create something of my own based on the research that I learned in my studies. And it's just something new every day. So here we go. There's day 17 of the Love of Learning workbook is to seek out someone with whom you can have an in-depth conversation. This conversation should be based on a topic of mutual interest or a topic that you are interested in learning more about. So you would be surprised with what the people who you work with or who you interact with on a daily basis, what they actually know. And if you get them talking about something that they absolutely love, they can just go on and on and on and on. So that's why I put in there of mutual interest. If you're interested in cars, by all means, go find your car man or car woman. If you're interested in just trees or nature or wildlife, go find your local, park ranger. Just if you're interested in your community, you can find a police officer. Even your local clerk at his sheets can tell you about what people do and how they interact, or just say, hey, what was the funniest thing that you saw today? Just these simple interactions can actually provide knowledge and insight on your community. So this Love of Learning is very community based. It's, like I said, it's all about gaining as much information as possible. This one I also love too is that within one of your close relationships, explore and develop a new hobby or activity that you can learn more about together. They include cooking, collecting, reading the same book, or exploring new locations. This should be like 101. They should be teaching this in schools. And it actually kind of makes me sad that they don't. But this can improve the quality of your life so quickly just by doing this. It's amazing how quickly your mindset can change if you just practice one of the strengths. And you probably already do, and you don't even realize it. But if you actually research and Google these strengths like I asked you to earlier, that you would quickly notice that which strengths are your highest, which ones are your lowest. Notice we don't say weakest. This is positive psychology. We don't have weak strengths. And you would just basically go from there and focus on whichever one finds to be the most interesting to you. So again, thank you so much for sticking out to the end with me here. I really hope that you are intrigued by my two products here. And I do know that Love is the next workbook that I will be working on. And I can't exactly think of what the fourth one is right at the top of my head. But I do know Love for sure is number 3. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please remember to hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can see how I'm going to be using these. I'm going to try to update weekly and show how I'm using this and what I came up with. And again, please check out my Etsy shop. I will have a link down below. My seller shop's name is Stitchpiration. So again, please check me out. And I hope you have a very wonderful and safe New Year's and a great start to 2020. Thanks again for watching.